I want to discuss three issues, but before that I have two remarks. The first one is that I have to admit that business schools are in the same system of shareholder values as the banking sector is, and listed companies are.
You can put the audit firm as well. I'm okay with this. There's no problem with that.
Okay. So we are in the same non-sustainable system. It's a very bad idea. And it's because we want to have rankings, we have to accreditations, and we like to earn money on MBA, so the MBA money-making machines. That's the bad news, but there's hope and we can change it. My second remark is that I know managers who are really making the difference, really good managers. And their background or their education is history, technology, liberal arts, law, and only a few business education. There's really bad news when you're head of a business school. And I see too many MBAs going to consulting companies. So not in the real business. Consulting companies are not in the real business. They help. So what should we do? And what will I do? It's not hopeless because we can decide today to break the system. But we have, and I will end with that in my story, we have to break the systems. So, as I mentioned, I have three issues. The first one is how to design management education programs. Because in a program, then you're learning. Those programs have to be designed from the perspective, and that's the Münzberg story, from the perspective of the student, his business, and the society context. And even better, the integration of business and societal context. That must be the perspective of how to design a program. And not, and that's a tradition, not designing from the mostly the specialized perspective of faculty. So, from specialized management disciplines towards the complex situation of the manager. That's how to design programs. So in designing programs, we need faculty members who are not teaching, but they are listening, and they cooperate. And they also should have a more diverse background, like history, like philosophy, etc. My second issue is what's important to learn for the students, but in fact also ourselves as educators. We have also to learn to make a difference. I think we have to move from managing complexity to embracing complexity. We cannot manage the world, it's impossible. We try to, that causes a lot of crises. We have to move from targets to aims. And we have to move from the knowledge of management to the art of management. With management skills, education in a broader context, empathy, and ambition. So, from shared values in business to shared values in a societal context. I think it's not so easy to think in this solution, but the problem is how to move business schools. What does it mean for business schools in stepping out their own system of shareholder value, I mentioned already? We need in the first place strong leaders, leaders who have the guts to change the system together. Business schools should be independent and should be not-for-profit. That's a new governance system. I think it's very important to be independent. Business schools should be meeting places for sharing value and values, and with more diversity. And not diversity as an issue, but diversity in the meaning of inclusion of other sciences, more context-oriented, other sectors, public sector, for example, arts, rich, poor people, so no selection, but inclusion. So away from paradoxes, but embracing paradoxes, making the difference and looking for the differences. And focused again on inclusion. Business schools must break the system of rankings. Rankings are focused on the increase of salaries of students. And it creates selection and not inclusion. And it promotes the productivity of faculty in specialized knowledge. So away with those rankings. We need mappings to help people to choose. That's another thing. Business schools should break accreditation systems. They are really sort of run on accreditation systems, and people are very proud when they have 3 accreditations or something like that. It's unbelievable. We need accreditation systems to learn and to assess our quality. That's very important. But we need new ones, in which the learning impact is more important than the orientation on management disciplines. At this moment, the accreditation system do not support innovation within the business schools. And we need a lot of innovation, and we need more impact, and not these disciplines. So, business schools have to innovate their governance, business models, and organizations. They have to innovate their faculty in another way of thinking, doing, listening, asking. And we need other design of programs, more skills, and a broader context. Is that possible? Well, I believe so. We try to do it ourselves, and I think we are really successful in it. But I know myself that's possible, and the answer is, of course, yes. Again, I try it every day, but the second one is, I think it's our responsibility. As educators, we are responsible for education of managers for the future. So I strongly believe it's our responsibility to do it. And to my last remark, we must be the good example for our students to make a better world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivo. I've got a question for you as well. How do you recruit your professors? For instance, the last one you recruited, who is he and who is she, maybe?
Well, we look at skills, and that our professors have to make a combination of outstanding skills in their own
expertise,
in their own expertise, but also connecting to other. We have a structure that all kind of expertises are connected to other expertises. So we have an organization of more diverse faculty. Mm-hmm. And the best faculty members are specialized in their thing, but are opening to others, and have in fact some consulting skills. Mm-hmm. They are able to listen. They are able to go into the problem of the students. They are asking. Mm-hmm. So they make a combination of exploring the situation of the student, mm-hmm. and that are skills in listening.
And do you expect from them to have also external interest, like being not just focusing on students, but having some non-governmental, non-profit or whatever activities, or do you leave it to them? Or is it something you urge them to have?
No, we ask them and we promote it, and we have also meetings with more faculty members, that they share their experiences, that they share their ideas. So, you need a faculty who want to cooperate and have the same discussions as we have today. Mm-hmm. And then they will move into the right direction. And, of course, and sometimes you don't want a faculty member. You have to to change it and to move to another one.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We meet in a couple of seconds. We have a question, please. Excellent.
Yes, can I ask you please a question? What % of your faculty has experience in doing things? How % of your faculty they have been executives or they are executives?
In our faculty?
Yes. Do you have people that they know how to do things? No.
I didn't hear you good.
Okay. The question that the gentleman asked was very politely phrased.
Yeah.
The question is, I'm a professor of management too, so I'm a colleague. The majority of the professors around the world, they are hired because of what they are writing and not because of what they are doing. Mm-hmm. And we're expecting people that they have not have experience to manage even a kiosk, to teach people how to manage. It's very difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
Around the world, people are hired because of publication, and the publication reports and the publication papers very often are splitting hair.
I agree. Yeah.
And if I can also
I agree.
go in that sense,
Just
because of the
hair.
accreditations as well.
So,
yes, you're right.
So we are asking, it's like to have to teach surgeons for people that they have not seen a surgery in their life, how to perform a surgery, how they can perform a surgery. That's the reason that the majority of your students, they go to consulting, or they can go to not the real economy. Yeah. They go to banking, they go to, to various other exotic institutions, but not in real business.
I think you need a faculty also with chief executives of companies. And when the faculty is working together from people who have done research on topics, but also together with, well, I think in programs you can make a difference between what's leading management skills, and then you need more people with their own experience, and supporting it, then you need also professors and faculty in some domains. So it's very important that you see different roles in management education and who is doing what role. But I also believe you cannot learn to manage from a story or from a lecture or something. You have to do it, and you have to be, for example, you need a coach, you need intervention sessions, and that means that you also need other faculty members than only teachers. You need trainers, you need
teachers that they know about what they're talking about.
Actually, if you agree, I will bounce on your question, because this was my first question for the debate, which is actually, do we have the business schools fit for preparing the leaders of tomorrow, which was a question that Charles asked yesterday. And second, it's a question about what we teach and who is teaching. And the question of who teaches is definitely a question. I can tell you, and we are going to discuss this, because of the accreditation system, we moved something like 20 years ago for more an academic profile of our faculty. And this is one of the questions that also the EFMD is today wondering about. So that's one of the questions we are going to raise. I take the two questions, the three questions,
I told you.
Right, of course. I will come to Julia, of course, and Julia knows that, but she's very much in favor of debate. So we'll take the questions, collect them, and give an answer to them.
Okay, thank you. Wolfgang Erhardt and Malik Management. I've got one question. What exactly, Mr. Meltzer, what exactly do you mean by embracing complexity? I'm perfectly with you that at the end of the day, complexity cannot be managed. However, I do strongly believe we should strive for it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's wrong to claim that complexity cannot and therefore should not be managed. It maybe cannot be managed, but we should try to. So my question is, what exactly do you mean by embracing complexity? Could you be more specific?
We keep this question. I collect the questions, and we'll see, because part of this will be answered by Julia. And if not, in the debate, we come back to your question. So, embracing complexity, what does it concretely mean? Question one. Second. Yes? Sorry? I come back then.
I was wondering, from a business school perspective, I feel like the role of a business school is to teach things about business, such as general things, accounting, finances, that sort of thing. And then you have, in America, you have the liberal arts schools that teach your history, your sociology, that sort of thing. You have engineering schools, etc. And I feel like you're talking about combining all of these within a business school to teach business students to manage all of them. Perhaps instead of expecting business schools to completely restructure themselves, it would be better to create a more managerial school where both business students, history students, engineering students could all come together for a new school that combines all of the things you were discussing.
I know your point will be directly addressed immediately, but we speak in turn. Right, okay, the third question? I had one here and one there, and we go on. Embracing complexity, managerial schools.
I'm an MBA student, so I just want to pick 3 points out of your presentation. You mentioned business university should be independent and not for profit. So I wonder how the university to funding their program besides tuition fee from students. And the second point is you said we should break the system of ranking. Then what's your solution to attract your students? Thank you.
Thank you. The last question I take for the moment.
I'm missing something. Peter Drucker, he emphasized again and again the importance of opportunity management. Allow me to cite. Maximization of opportunities is a meaningful, indeed a precise definition of the entrepreneurial job. And more, what is the manager's job? It is to direct the resources and the efforts of the business toward opportunities for economically significant results. Actually, we see a predominance of risk management. So Peter F. Drucker, he was very, very strict about the priority of opportunity management over risk management. I cite again, risk, however important, are not grounds of action, but restraints on action. The actions themselves should be selected as to maximize opportunities. I don't see this issue on the agenda of the existing business schools, nor on the future one. So this is my question.
Okay,
what do you think
take the
about
point and the question, because this is also a point, and thank you for this.
It's a commentary and it's a question.
Absolutely, thank you. This is interesting because actually I know that she's boiling answering these kind of questions, because Julia, well, she will explain herself what she's doing. Common purpose, who knows about common purpose? Yeah. Very good. Charles knows, Richard knows, Liz knows. Excellent. Julia is going to tell you a bit more. She created